of the inquiring and inspiring.
Ooh la la.
You're listening to Charles Adler.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am about to introduce you to a media personality who is a self-confessed hypocrite. Now, Cary Castagna of the Edmonton Sun Media, it's not often that we get a personality to admit to hypocrisy. They're always accused of that by others, but I want you to say it in your own eloquent words. Tell us why you think you're a hypocrite.
Well, Charles, it's just something, I guess, I mean, it's really embarrassing, first of all, just to talk about it, but it's just something that, I've been dealing with the last few years, but basically I'm a former bodybuilder. I'm a national fitness columnist for the Sun Media newspaper chain, and I'm actually certified as a personal trainer, and yet, I'm interviewing people every week for my column, and yet when you look at me, I'm not in that great a shape myself. Actually, I'm pretty obese right now. I'm about 100 pounds over where I should be, and it kind of, I guess I said, enough is enough, and I've got to deal with this, and it's not just for my column. That's part of the hook, but I guess the big part of it is just for my health. I'm getting a little older now, and I'm not getting away with things I used to get away with.
All right, so you're feeling hypocritical because you're a fitness columnist, and you do know your stuff, but as far as practicing what it is you're preaching, if you don't mind me putting it that way, there's some hypocrisy there. It's almost like a doctor saying you've got to quit smoking, and then you find out the doctor is doing 3 packs a day.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, granted, a lot of my columns, most of my columns, the majority of my columns are not first person. I mean, I'm interviewing the experts, and they're telling me what they do in terms of diet and exercise, and that's basically the premise of my columns. So I'm not, I'm not disseminating the advice myself from my own, personal experience, although I do have the knowledge and the background. But yeah, it's just, I just figured, it's time for me to, to step up, and that's why, and as I said, I've kind of struggled with this for the last few years, and it was just time for me to kind of throw it out there in the public. And now I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be holding me accountable, and failure is not an option because it's out there, and and now all of Adler Nation is going to be expecting me to hold true to my word.
All right, look. I've had psychiatrists on the air saying, Chuck, this is one of the magical things about radio or this show that people are willing to disclose. And I think it is because they're willing to disclose and to be personal and to be candid. I think that's why we have an Adler Nation, because it's real, and we try to keep it as real as possible. I've had psychiatrists on this air saying, Chuck, the reason I practice psychiatry is because I need to. I need to study how to deal with my own stuff. And I would suggest that perhaps one of the reasons you are the fitness columnist, because, when you were with the Winnipeg Sun years ago, you were a crime columnist. You wrote about crime. You wrote about punishment. You hung out at the cop shop. And, of course, you were a bodybuilder. But this is something that you need to do. As I said earlier, there's no doubt that you know your stuff, although you were sharing with me earlier that years ago when I asked you to do a TV segment with me, the reason you declined was?
Yeah, well, I remember that pretty well. Basically, you asked me to come on TV, and I said I couldn't because I'm not in shape, and the segment was going to be about fitness, and obviously, I didn't look the part then, and I still don't look the part now, but I'm working on it.
Well, as you know, we're going to be launching a TV show probably sometime in March, and I'm willing to bet, that next year at this time, you will be delighted to come on, and you're going to be feeling a whole lot better about yourself than you do right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can mark my words on that. And there's a lot to look forward to, I guess. In media these days, personalities are just kind of out there now, and, with the internet, and, we can't really hide behind our mugshot in the paper. The whole newspaper industry changed so much. But yeah, I mean, like as I said, that's only part of it. I mean, my health is very important to me, but obviously, if I'm a fitness writer, I should definitely look the part.
You've got Oprah Winfrey going on. Piers Morgan, his debut show, of course, he's replacing Larry King on CNN, and Oprah Winfrey is his first guest. And Oprah Winfrey tonight will be talking about a movie that she did that she was pretty proud of, but it just bombed. And when it bombed the way it did and got the reviews that it did, she got into macaroni and cheese big time. And she just kept pigging out on that macaroni and cheese. And because this movie was a flop, or at least that's the way it was received, she ended up putting on a lot of flops. I need to ask you this question. Do you think it was any one thing that made you a fitness columnist, a bodybuilder, pack it on the way you did? You're approximately 100 pounds overweight right now.
Yeah, Charles, I've been asked that, quite a bit since coming clean on January 1st, and I just don't have an answer. I guess it's, maybe it's a question for a psychologist, but, I don't think there was any one pivotal point in my life. It's just, I just really don't know what to say, because if I knew the answer, I wouldn't be talking to you right now about this whole embarrassing situation. But yeah, and it's funny you mentioned Oprah, because I've blogged about her, and I mean, she's one of the richest women in the world, and she's she has resources, the best personal trainers available to her, and she still really struggles with her battle of the bulge. So I mean, it just goes to show you, it doesn't matter who you are. I think we all a lot of us do struggle with this.
It's got nothing to do with intellect. It's got nothing to do with resources. And nobody has a hard and fast answer. But you've got a coach. So I need to ask you, what's your coach, what's your trainer telling you, Cary?
Oh, well, Di Manuel he's a fitness expert based in Vancouver. And, yeah, he's basically, we kind of just got this going. But, so far, I mean, I think the big comment that kind of sticks out in my mind is he said, nothing tastes as good as being fit and healthy, and so that's kind of helped me forego I guess sometimes I like to have a nice juicy cheeseburger or something, but that enjoyment is only momentarily enjoyed, and then and then it's gone, and you feel like crap afterwards. So I mean, I guess I'm keeping those words in my mind as far as just trying to work towards being healthy again, and being able to be proud of where I'm at physically.
When discussing openly your battle of the bulge, you write, as a fitness columnist for the past 7 years, I'm a big fat hypocrite. It hurts to admit this, but on January 1st of this year, I weighed a scale heaving 282.6 pounds. What was the reaction from your bosses? I mean, there are many people who read The Sun, the newspapers, online, what have you, who might be asking the question, well, why don't they get a fitness columnist who's fit?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought, and obviously I've talked to my bosses before this, came out, and they know that it's something that I've kind of struggled with, and it was funny because after I wrote, initially it was a blog that I wrote on January 1st coming out, and I guess my biggest fear was that, I guess readers would boycott me or call the newspaper and ask my bosses to fire me or something. But actually, I mean, the support's been just overwhelming. I mean, people have been really supportive and just really want to see me go through this, and they've been cheering me on, and I've been getting emails from right across the country, and it that's really surprised me. But I think, like a friend told me too, that I mean, the fact that I've struggled with this, maybe makes me a better fitness columnist, and because I know what other people are going through, but obviously I've got to see this through and get to the other side. But so far so good. Let
me ask those of you who have been to the other side, who've been to where Cary is right now, to call in right now. 800-665-2202 is my number. I want you to tell them your own story. And what you did to cross that bridge, because a lot of us have been exactly where Cary is. I was exactly where he is 2 years ago. So it's not an intellectual thing with me. It's a heart thing. I'm wearing this on my heart. I know exactly where he is right now. And I know what the other side looks like. I appreciate it a great deal, and I'd appreciate your call to tell me your story.
Want to weigh in and tip the scales of reason? Call 1-800-665-2202. This is Charles Adler.
Cary Castagna is the fitness columnist for Sun Media, has been for 7 years, and he wrote, "There's something I need to get off my chest, readers. I have man boobs. Not pecs, as you might expect. As you might expect the keeping fit columnist to possess, I've got hairy man boobs. I've got a double chin. Embarrassingly symbolic of the double life I've been leading in the past few years. I've been known as the fitness columnist, certified personal trainer, but to at least one astute observer, I'm known as a fitness fraud." And so this is what he has confessed. He is still a fitness columnist. He's got to lose 100, and I'm asking people who've been there, who've been exactly where he is right now, to call in. Andrew, thank you so much. You're on with Charles Adler and Cary Castagna.
Hey, guys. I about 2.5 years ago, I was where you were. I was 340-odd pounds, so I was a little bit beyond where you were, but it was, well over 100 pounds overweight, and I've lost 110 since then. It was just to me, it was what you did. It came to the conclusion that I can't rationalize this anymore. I can't keep telling myself that, I'm a big guy, it's okay, I'm still healthy. I wasn't healthy, and I had to do something. I had to reel it in, and it was just, I think what you did is you came to that realization, and that's, doesn't matter who tells it to you. You got to come to it yourself and want it yourself.
What did you do? What did you do to stop doing the things you were doing specifically? Did you go zero tolerant on certain foods, Andrew?
Well, no. I went more than that. I went to see a physician, and I had surgery. I had a band put on my stomach.
And you've lost
110 pounds.
Cary Castagna, is that something that your trainer has ever talked to you about?
No, actually, I don't feel like I'm to that point yet. But thanks, Andrew. There is a good point you have there as far as really it's about the mind, right? I mean, it's just about setting your mind to it and how bad do you want it? I mean, do you want to just keep eating cheeseburgers and look bad and feel bad, or do you want to change your life around? And yeah, I'm congratulations to you, Andrew, for turning things around.
We really appreciate Andrew's call, but my guess is, because you write so much about this, Cary, you've asked yourself the question, okay, so I went to 240, I went to 260, I went to 280. If I do go to 340, which is Andrew country, chances are it is something your doctor would end up recommending.
Yeah, probably. It just hasn't come up for me.
This is Mark calling in. Mark, you're on with Cary Castagna, his Battle of the Bulge.
Hi, Cary. How you doing? I was up to 300 pounds about a year and a half ago, and started doing construction again, and dropped down to about 260. But I was still eating in upwards of 4,500 to 5,000 calories a day, and I finally went in for a physical, and my cholesterol was through the roof. Like, it was scary, scary numbers. And they decided to give me 3 months to take it down myself, or else they were going to put me on hardcore medication. And the support I had around me was the biggest help. And I have, unfortunately, not been able to drop too many more pounds, but the inches have been coming off like crazy. And the biggest thing is support. If you got that support around you, you can accomplish anything. And boy, is it hard cutting your diet down to the things you need to lose that weight.
My guess is that we'll get lots of emails in support of Cary as well. Mark, thank you so much. Cary Castagna, we support you. Take my word for it. There are many, many people across the country who support you right now, including citizens of Adler Nation and your readers. Good luck to you, my friend.
Well, I appreciate it, and I won't let you down.
Cary Castagna in Edmonton.
Exposing corruption, collusion, and a whole lot of other big words beginning with C. You're listening to Charles Adler.